Explain what makes Grim Reaper on the mechanical side, because you do make fixed and mechanical, and personally
Hybrids, all kinds
hybrids, yeah, and personally I think you kind of dominate almost each one in functionality. But what makes your mechanical broadhead so different, and why is it superior to what most people are probably used to seeing these days?
We have more broadhead SKUs than anyone on the planet.
Yes, you do.
So,
Please make
but,
It's so
but the
confusing.
thing is Grim Reaper's the only independent broadhead-only brand. We don't make anything else.
Yeah.
So, you know, the end goal for Grim Reaper, and we're close, is to have the most diverse. We do have the most diverse line of broadheads on the planet. But the end goal is also to have anything and everything broadhead tip related. So, because that's what we do. We, while other brands have a sight and a rest and a broadhead and a this or that or these conglomerates, all we do is think about broadheads and talk about broadheads all day, every day, and it's a different mentality. I mean, that's just nothing else. That's what my life revolves around is broadheads 24/7 for 2 decades. And that's what we do, and that's what we're passionate about, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So, but yeah, let's take you over and show you the machines.
Okay.
When mechanicals first came out, you know, way back when, and I have some of the old originals kicking around, but when mechanicals first came out, he thought, that's kind of cool, but they had some flaws.
Sure.
You know,
There was some junk out there.
yeah, there was some junk originally, and
Yeah.
even as they progressed into being kind of mainstream, there were still some things that's like, okay, when you start talking deflection or penetration or durability. So literally Jay sat down, he was like logging in Wyoming, and he sat down at a restaurant on a napkin type scenario and listed every flaw on what he thought was the current best mechanical on the market, listed every flaw, and then went to work resolving every one of those things, from durability to deflection on angled shots to blade deployment or retention systems, rubber bands, O-rings. So he sat down literally on a napkin and listed those things out, and one by one started figuring out a way to resolve those, which ultimately led to our internal spring system, which is still the key to all of our success in our blade retention system, eliminating bands and O-rings. He, you know, found some other little things, such as, like, if you ever look at any Grim Reaper, the amount of tip extension we have out in front of our blades is, we have minimums on our end that we'll do on any broadhead, including our fixed blades, to negate deflection on hard angles.
Yeah,
so
it's deliberate.
So it's all deliberate. I mean, the angles we can shoot our products where that tip hits first before a blade makes contact, you know, is greater across our whole lineup than any broadhead lineup in the planet, and that's huge. And then over the years, we obviously made a ton of different tweaks and designs and improvements, and growing our in-house manufacturing capabilities to tweak and prototype. And that's what we're broadhead junkies. That's all we do. But it started from that. It started from, and he started building them in his parents' basement. His first ATA show was in the year 2000, and like, it was literal, like, just him and his wife and a couple family members out of the basement kind of deal. And now here we are 25 years later. That's how it originated. You know, even as, say, these different slip cam rear deploy type systems started hitting the market, and people sat and said, well, we're going to put an over-the-top design broadhead out of business.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I literally heard that from, oh, I'm going to put you out of business. And with my new design, and it's interesting. You know, obviously people are going to jump and try different things, and all different broadheads have their little flaws and their little things that you got to work the kinks out of. But over the years, as we continue to innovate, we haven't found a retention system yet that allows us to build broadheads the way we want to build them, with the blade configurations we want, with the blade angles we want to get out of them, with the total cut surfaces we want to get out of them, still maintain the durability, the performance, that we want, the penetration. We haven't found a better system than our spring retention over the top opening mechanical design. We just haven't. And that's through, and not that we don't have prototypes, not that we don't have designs, not that we haven't played with every broadhead on the planet. There's certain features that you may gain there, but the end result of total performance from start to finish, I haven't found a better mousetrap.
Yeah, it's definitely different, but the concern by the average consumer is that when that opens, if it's like at an angle, it's going to change its angle, and your tip style is what corrects that, right?
So truly, there's two things that negate that and actually do better than most any design I've ever seen. One, we're the only broadhead brand on the planet that I know of with this opening design that each blade is independent on a spring system like the shock of a truck. Not only do those blades open independently with a pound and a half of pressure, but every blade actually can cam on that spring system like the shock of a truck. So if you hit on an angle and that blade hits first, rather than it acting as a lever arm to push your arrow, that blade is actually
giving a little bit.
Giving on that spring system. If you hit a hard bump with your truck, and if you didn't have good shocks, you're going through the roof.
Gotcha.
But because you have good shocks on a modern vehicle, it absorbs that, doesn't bounce you in the air, right? So the same concept with our spring system. That blade actually cams back, travels on that spring as it's deploying. So it's getting out of the way, has some spring there, have some give there as it's opening, so it's not actually pushing your arrow. That blade's able to kick back. So as all three blades open independently at different times on a hard angle, the extended tip is a huge factor in what we do. I mean, you can shoot our broadheads on any, I've shot our broadheads on animals on any ethical angle that I would shoot any broadhead on with no problem, because you're going to start that tip, even on the most extreme angles, you're going to start that tip well into the animal. And our tips, as you know, are incredible.
Sharp.
Our pro tips, the sharpest.
Yeah, that little countertop display you got there is one of the smartest things I think you ever did to a shop.
Exactly.
It's like,
even
crap,
our competitors will sit and play with them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And most of the issues I see with customers comes down to broadhead selection. I shot a moose and I didn't get good penetration. Well, what were you shooting? Well, a whitetail special. Well, okay. What was your setup? 380 grain arrow and 50 pounds. Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah, it's probably not going through.
Probably not. You needed this micro Hades over here.
Yeah.
But a lot, and that's why we offer so many options, because there's so many different scenarios. And sure, like there's models in my lineup that I don't shoot because it doesn't fit my hunting style. I'm a ground and pound, multiple species. Like I may be shooting 20 yards or 80 yards. I may be hunting an elk or a turkey. I don't know. So I like a real versatile, all-around, anything, everything type broadhead.
Sure. Can I offer a suggestion?
Sure.
Maybe a chart or a sticker that you put on your packages of the size of animals recommended for.
Half built. We have a broadhead selector chart in the works.
Good. Awesome.
Just there's
so much.
You look at like an aerospine chart, right, or those things.
Yeah.
There's some gray area.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
With animals and size of animals, because a white-tailed deer. A South Texas white-tailed deer is 100 pounds wet.
Right.
But a Kansas big buck is 350. You know what I mean? There's some variables.
Just say like small animal, medium animal, large animal, have a weight on it.
So there's that's all in the works.
Sweet.
And some of our broadheads actually show that on the back, like great, like, okay, a fixed blade Hades is great for all species.
Yeah, I've been selling your broadheads for like 15 years.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was back there.
So there is some of that, like the whitetail special says, great for turkey, bear, and whitetail deer, because bears are soft.
Yeah,
and you usually shoot them like 20, 30 yards.
With,
They don't bleed good, so you want to open them up. Yeah. Like there's certain models that are conducive to that. But so yeah, that's all in the works. But man, show me a better, complete, all-around package of broadheads in a company, and we'll change and be that, because I don't think there is one.
Yeah, I can't. You win.
So
thanks, Matt.
Josh, appreciate you, man.
Good seeing you.
You too.